My name is Lauren Brooks. I'm 32, a trauma nurse at Riverside Medical Center in Buffalo. 6 months ago, my grandmother Rose Callahan died quietly in the same hospital where I clock every shift. She was the only person who never kept a running tab on what I cost. My father, Victor Brooks, kept score from the day surgeons repaired my congenital heart defect at age 6. The bill was $238,000. He reminded me of it every time I asked for new jeans, a school trip, anything beyond bare survival. My mother left when I was 11. Victor never let me forget I'd driven her off with medical debt. My older sister Brooke got college paid in full, a reliable car at 17, forgiveness for every misstep. I got reminders. You already took everything we had. By 16 I was working retail after school to buy my own textbooks. By 19 I signed my first private student loan alone while Brooke moved into a dorm Victor toured with pride. Rose never mentioned money. Every Sunday I drove 4 to 5 minutes to her modest ranch house in Lockport. I trimmed her rose bushes, checked her oxygen SATs, sat on her glider porch and listened to her stories about nursing during the polio years. Near the end she gripped my wrist with surprising strength and said, "I've fixed things for you, Lauren. A man named Whitaker will reach you when the time is right." I smiled, kissed her forehead, assumed the oxygen was making her drift. She was 8 to 7. 4 months later I was driving home after a 14-hour trauma shift. 4:09 a.m., black ice on Route 5. An SUV hydroplaned across 3 lanes. I don't remember the crash, just the dashboard clock frozen at 4:11. Severe TBI, 7 fractured ribs, ruptured spleen, grade IV liver laceration. Riverside Trauma Team took me straight to OR2, my own unit. They needed exploratory laparotomy, craniotomy for hematoma evacuation, more time than anyone wanted to admit. Someone had to authorize it. My emergency contact was still Victor Brooks. He arrived at 5:33 a.m. Not to the trauma bay. To patient financial services. The night supervisor later told me he asked one question: what's the ceiling if she needs everything? Answer: $214,000 to $270,000 out of pocket after insurance caps. Victor didn't flinch. She has no healthcare proxy. I'm next of kin. Do not resuscitate if it goes south. We can't keep doing this. He signed the DNR at 3:41 a.m. His signature was level. My night shift charge nurse, Elena Vasquez, 24 years in trauma, found my employee proxy form 40 minutes later. I'd named my closest friend and fellow nurse, Maya Patel, as healthcare agent 4 years earlier. Elena called Maya at 4:19 a.m. Maya drove through freezing rain from Niagara Falls, revoked the DNR at 5:52 a.m., and authorized every intervention. Surgery happened. I lived. Victor went home believing I would be gone before sunrise. He never asked for updates. He never returned. 5 days later he filed paperwork at the Niagara County Clerk's office. Rose's modest ranch house in Lockport, transferred to me alone 18 months before her death via enhanced life estate deed, was suddenly in his name. He'd used a durable power of attorney bearing my signature. I had never signed it. He secured a $340,000 mortgage against it the following Monday. Funds disbursed Tuesday. The money didn't touch my hospital bills. It paid off offshore sportsbook debts he'd hidden for a decade. I woke on a Wednesday. Elena was at my bedside. She waited until the neuro-resident left. "Your father signed a DNR 5 weeks ago," she said. "Told the team you'd been a financial anchor since childhood." Maya overturned it. I stared at the 4-pump. Counted the drips until I could swallow. Elena handed me my phone. "Your grandmother left instructions. An attorney named Whitaker has been trying to reach you." James Whitaker arrived Thursday morning. Navy suit, quiet voice, worn leather case. Rose had met him privately in 2022. She'd executed a new will, transferred the Lockport house to me via enhanced life estate, full ownership on her death, no probate contest possible, and funded a small irrevocable trust, $97,000, for my future. No other heirs named. She'd told Whitaker, "My son-in-law will try to take it. Lauren will need the paper trail." Whitaker placed the folder on my tray table. "Your father used a forged POA to record a deed transfer 4 weeks ago. He encumbered the property with a $340,000 mortgage 9 days later. The title insurer has been notified of the fraud claim. The loan is frozen pending investigation." I studied the documents: Rose's will, the life estate deed, the county recording, the mortgage instrument bearing my forged signature. "How do we stop him?" I asked. You don't stop him quietly, Whitaker said. You stop him where it will hurt most. Sunday was the monthly community supper at Hope Fellowship Church, the same church where Victor had served as elder for 21 years. He led the prayer circle, organized the Thanksgiving food drive, comforted widows. Everyone knew him as the steadfast father who'd sacrificed everything. I walked in at 12:15 p.m. navy sweater, dark jeans, hair in a low knot. My ribs still caught when I inhaled too deeply. Whitaker followed 3 steps behind, case in hand. The fellowship hall smelled of pot roast and apple crisp. Long tables, folding chairs, paper plates. About 160 people. Victor stood near the microphone podium, shaking hands, playing the pillar. He saw me. His smile bloomed, practiced, paternal. Lauren. Everyone, look who the Lord brought back to us. Heads turned. Applause rolled. Someone said, Hallelujah. Another whispered, She's so pale. Victor opened his arms. I walked forward. He hugged me, brief, camera ready. Then he stepped to the mic. Many of you prayed for my daughter after her terrible accident. The doctors gave us no hope, but God had other plans. Lauren, would you share a word? I took the microphone. My palm was dry. Thank you, Dad. And thank you all for your prayers. I looked straight at him. But there's something you need to know. The room hushed. 5 weeks ago my father walked into Riverside Medical Center. He didn't ask how I was. He asked how much keeping me alive would cost. When they told him $214,000 to $270,000 out of pocket, he said, exact words from the hospital incident report, let her go. We won't pay for the surgery. She's been a financial anchor since childhood. Then he signed a Do Not Resuscitate order. Gasps. A tray clattered. Victor's smile locked in place. I'm alive because my friend Maya Patel drove through an ice storm at 4 a.m. to revoke that order after another nurse found my proxy form. Not my father. A friend. Victor stepped forward. Lauren, you're not thinking clearly. The medication. I have the report. I nodded to Whitaker. He lifted the certified copy. Timestamped 3:41 a.m. Your signature. Silence pressed like a hand on the throat. That wasn't all, I continued. While I was in a coma, my father forged my name on a power of attorney, transferred my grandmother's house in Lockport into his name, and took out a $340,000 mortgage against it. The loan is frozen. The deed transfer is being voided. Police have opened a forgery investigation. Victor's face went ashen. That's nonsense. Whitaker spoke next, measured, unhurried. The original life estate deed is recorded. The POA is not in my firm's files. The notary has given a sworn affidavit. The lender has been notified of fraud. Criminal charges are pending. Victor looked around. No one met his gaze.